With everything you knew through Kerry talking about him, I imagine, and all the stories you've heard in the business, discounting what you've seen in the film because artistic license, was Fritz a bad guy?
Boy, I've asked myself that 1,000 times after seeing the movie. I had met Fritz several times, but never had to work for him, or never did get the chance to work for him. The movie, at the very outset of the movie, again, spoiler alerts for people, it starts out during Fritz's career and how close he came to being world champion. And then as he's bringing his kids up into this business, he's, as a father, I remember hearing the story about Bruno and David San Martino. Bruno did not want David or any of his kids anywhere near the business. And when David finally basically told him, I'm going to do it with or without you, Bruno said, okay, then you do everything I tell you, because he wanted to be, not control David. He wanted to protect David from that. And so I can clearly see, thank God my kids had wanted nothing to do with the business. But I can see as a father how you would want to be, like David or Kevin is with his kids, like not lording over them or anything, but you can see once that door's open, that Pandora's box, that this business has been pretty rough on a lot of people, and yours included. Weighing that, the way the movie portends it, and the way the stories that I'd heard away from the family, I never heard Kerry say anything bad about his dad, other than, you didn't want to cross Fritz, you didn't want to cross Dad. But they always spoke very glowingly of their dad, that he looked out for them and protected them, and gave them the opportunities and things. So it's that's going to be one of those age-old arguments that some like vanilla and some like chocolate. That some fans are going to say, "Oh, he was a crappy dad." I would think younger people that are being raised in the mores of the world today would probably think, "Oh, what a horrible father." Those of us that grew up in the world I come from would think, and what I've seen in wrestling would think, okay, tough dad, but also being protective of that ilk in the business. So it's going to be a judgment call for each viewer.
I'd really want to get your opinion on that, because I mean, I was never old enough to ever meet Fritz, and from everything I see, how do you sort of judge that? Because I mean, obviously his second child, Jack Jr.
Yeah.
Because Kevin's the oldest, isn't he? I always forget that.
Yeah.
He died very, very young in an accident. But it's like of the kids that made it to adulthood, 4 of them killed themselves. They've all got drug issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And somehow they've all sort of like reasoned to themselves that suicide is. I mean, this becomes like a religious debate. Then it's like, because they so believe that they were going to the other side and they're going to see their brothers again, that kind of thing. So, but because I know it's a like fervently religious family as well, weren't they?
Yeah, the movie even portends that after Kerry kills himself, he's on a boat and being rowed down a river, and David and Michael are both there going, "Hey, bro, what's So it very much did intone that. Again, that's like you said. You can argue politics till you're blue. Religion till you're blue in the face, right? The movie underscores some things that I had heard, but I never heard from the family. But the things I'd heard in the dressing rooms and in the buildings was that Kevin has a world title shot in the movie, takes a hard bump and has trouble getting up. And then after that, his dad pulls him out and pushes Kerry towards the world title slot. It was like he was picking this one over that one and like sort of moving around. Again, I've never heard that from the family. Can't say that is 100% accurate. I don't know. I've heard it. But again, my wrestling brain and then my father brain, I'm thinking like, if my kids were coming to the business, I would certainly want to position them, not just because of chronology, but which one is going to be most successful at this point. So again, it's one of those things. I would love to hear, and I'm sure he's probably spoken about it, what Kevin has said. because I've always found Kevin to be a pretty straight shooter anytime I've had to speak with him and things, and that hasn't been a ton. But I would like to get Kevin's take on that and hear if he's spoken about that publicly, because, I mean, again, it's your father, right? I mean, we only know what we know. Another thing I think that needs to be added in there, the way you just set it up, is that in Dallas, because this family, world, the wrestling organization, world class, and everything they were doing, they were like bona fide rock stars in Dallas, in that area, and in Texas. So there was a lot of leeway given to them that probably would have been given to somebody else's kid.